The two American presidents who were shot dead, the untold stories of Lincoln and Kennedy. Let's dive in. Two American presidents, a century apart, both gunned down in cold blood. Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy, names forever linked by tragedy, mystery, and an eerie web of coincidences that still captivate historians today. But beyond the headlines and conspiracy theories, who were these men? Why were they killed? And how did their deaths change America forever? This is the untold story of the two American presidents who were shot dead, Lincoln and Kennedy. Our story begins on a cool April night, April 14, 1865. The Civil War had just ended. America was bruised but hopeful. And President Abraham Lincoln, after 4 years of bloodshed, was finally ready to breathe again. Lincoln had become the great emancipator, freeing the slaves, saving the Union, but not everyone saw him as a hero. Among his enemies was a well-known actor named John Wilkes Booth, a Confederate sympathizer who believed Lincoln's death would reignite the Southern cause. On that fateful night, Lincoln attended a play at Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C. He sat in the presidential box with his wife, laughing and smiling. At around 10:15 p.m., Booth slipped into the booth, pointed a .44 caliber pistol, and pulled the trigger. Lincoln slumped forward. Booth shouted, "Sic semper tyrannis," thus always to tyrants, and leapt to the stage. He broke his leg in the fall but escaped into the night. The next morning, April 15, 1865, Abraham Lincoln was pronounced dead, America's first assassinated president. Booth was hunted down 12 days later, cornered in a Virginia barn and shot dead. But the damage was done. The man who had freed a race and saved a nation was gone. Lincoln's death plunged the nation into grief. Vice President Andrew Johnson became president, and Reconstruction began, a painful, chaotic attempt to rebuild the South and restore the Union. Many historians believe Lincoln's assassination delayed racial equality in America by nearly a century. Without his leadership, America struggled to heal. Fast forward almost exactly 100 years. November 22, 1963. Dallas, Texas. A bright, charismatic leader named John Fitzgerald Kennedy, the 35th President of the United States, was riding through the streets in an open-top limousine. Kennedy was the symbol of a new America, young, energetic, forward-looking. But like Lincoln, he had powerful enemies, foreign and domestic. He had stood up to the Soviets, pushed for civil rights, and challenged the CIA and the military establishment. As his motorcade turned onto Dealey Plaza, shots rang out. One bullet struck his throat. Another, fatal shot, hit his head. At 12:30 p.m., John F. Kennedy was assassinated. Within hours, a suspect was arrested, Lee Harvey Oswald, a 24-year-old ex-Marine with connections to the Soviet Union and Cuba. But before Oswald could stand trial, he was shot and killed, live on television, by nightclub owner Jack Ruby. The nation was in shock. The television networks went black. And once again, America's heart was broken. The Warren Commission, created by President Lyndon B. Johnson, concluded that Oswald acted alone. But to this day, many doubt that story. Was there a second shooter? Was the CIA involved? The Mafia? The Cubans? Decades later, classified files are still being released, yet the mystery endures, feeding countless theories, books, and documentaries. Here's where things get almost unbelievable: the coincidences between Lincoln and Kennedy. Lincoln was elected to Congress in 1846. Kennedy in 1946. Lincoln became president in 1860. Kennedy in 1960. Both were succeeded by men named Johnson, Andrew Johnson and Lyndon Johnson. Both Johnsons were born exactly 100 years apart. Lincoln's secretary was named Kennedy. Kennedy's secretary was named Lincoln. Both presidents were shot in the head on a Friday while seated next to their wives. Coincidence or destiny? No one knows. But what's certain is that both men died believing in a better America, one more free, fair, and united. From the Civil War to the Cold War, the assassinations of Lincoln and Kennedy mark two of the darkest chapters in US history. Two men, 2 centuries apart, united in vision and in tragedy. Their stories remind us that leadership can inspire a nation, but it can also make one a target. If you found this story powerful, hit the like button, share this video, and subscribe for more deep dives into history's defining moments.